Hello, I want to welcome everyone back for episode 2 of this channel. The topics we will discuss going forward first require a bit of unpacking, which we will do over the next few episodes. So today's episode is about diegetic and non-diegetic film music. Diegetic and non-diegetic are just fancy sounding words that are actually easy to understand. Before we learn what the words mean in regard to film music, it's worth our time to first learn the definition of the word diegesis. Diegesis means the relaying of information in a fictional work, such as a film or novel, through a narrative. Another description that more accurately fits today's talk is the fictional world in which the events of a narrative occur. Let's further the discussion by describing the diegetic space and the non-diegetic space from the perspective of a movie theater. During a film, everything occurring in the movie's narrative on the screen is the diegesis. Conceptually, the diegesis is the story world occurring within and beyond the frame past the screen. Everything within the film's diegesis is in the diegetic space. The real physical space, starting in front of the screen outward into the theater, is the non-diegesis. Elements such as the viewing audience and the theater's physical makeup is considered the non-diegetic space. Here's an example of diegetic music. In this excerpt from John Hughes' 16 Candles, Jenny marries Rudy, the bohunk. Jenny took several muscle relaxers due to some unexpected ailments the morning of her wedding. Jenny is normally prim and proper, but comedy ensues after the Valium she took begins taking full effect just before she walks down the aisle. The wedding march is cued. The cue is considered diegetic because not only can it be heard by viewers in the non-diegetic space, the characters within the diegesis hear the music sourced by the organ in the church during the scene, and they react to it by walking down the aisle. A scene in Stanley Kubrick's The Shining has a more complex application of diegetic music. Jack approaches the Gold Room at the Overlook Hotel, and by this point in the story, he has completely lost his sanity. A sudden cueing of music led Jack down a long corridor. Jack, who is in the film's diegesis, nor viewers in the non-diegetic space, know the music's source. So, the orientation of the cue is ambiguous. As Jack rounds the corner and enters the Gold Room, both Jack and viewers discover that the music's source is a stage orchestra providing entertainment for a party. Later, when Grady and Jack are in the men's room together, music can be heard from the adjoining room through the walls.
Yes, sir.
Delbert Grady.
That's right, sir.
Identifying music that is either diegetic or non-diegetic often is simple, but it is incredible what kinds of arguments that ensue between different theories as scenes get more complex. These are some thoughts that go into an analysis. Music is cued at the beginning of this scene, and it first appears to be non-diegetic. It's very subtle at first. But the music evokes a reaction from Jack, who is in the film's diegesis. He moves toward where he thinks the music is coming from. This still frame shows Jack approaching the entrance of the Gold Room. Music is heard, but the source is not yet seen. Jack's motion toward the door and change of sightline indicates that even though he cannot yet see the musical source, he recognizes it coming from this part of the hotel. Since Jack can hear and react to the music, it is diegetic music. Viewers in the non-diegetic space can hear the same music, and like Jack, we are not yet privy to its source. We do not have any more insight about the narrative than Jack does. Once in the Gold Room, Jack turns his sightline toward the stage where he finds the musical source. Like Jack, the viewer can also see the music's source. The stage orchestra is entertaining guests. The music is clearly diegetic. When Grady cleans Avocat off Jack's clothes in the men's room, the musical source can't be seen anymore. But we know what the musical source is from the mise-en-scène in the middle part of the scene. What is interesting is that this scene is rather long. It's very heavy and weird. It drags on and on. As it does drag on, the orientation of the music seems to shift to a more ambiguous space. We know that it's diegetic based on the mise-en-scène from the middle part of the scene, but as it drags on, and as it gets more weird, we begin to lose where that orientation is. So these are the types of things that film scholars and film music scholars love to argue about. But for the purpose of this video, let's just call it diegetic music. After spending so much time of this video on diegetic music, I will continue this discussion in another video focusing on non-diegetic music. The music that only audiences can hear is loaded with its own set of functions and devices, and I would like to spend the amount of time I need to on that for you. If you would like to see more videos like this, hit the subscribe button below and the bell icon so that you can be notified about new postings. Until next time.